Crushing the meta.
What's going on, everyone? A big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta, and today I'm here for you guys with a new series or a new episode of Crazy Game Changing. If you haven't seen the series yet, the first episodes are not more available for you guys to watch because they were different in a way, and we wanted to do the series different. But we are still gonna call this episode 3. If you want to see episode 1 or 2, or you want me to give you like information or make a video about the first 2 episodes, I will do that as well. The first 2 episodes were about the introducing of the new GGuardians and the G zone going into 16 slots, and now and the second episode were about the hate that we sometimes have against Gear Chronicle or against Megacolony or against some clans. And now the third episode is about the Fighter Collection 2017 and how Bushiroad balanced some of the clans because they introduced all the GB8 at the same time, but were all the GB8 worthy? And some of them have the skill which is unfair. So all of that, we will talk about it in this episode. Yes, if you haven't seen our YouTube channel yet, I advise you to go and watch it. We have the videos right here. You can see all our videos, and also you can go into the videos separately. Like some of the videos you can't watch anymore, like the first 2 episodes of Crazy Game Changing. The old battles, you can't watch that as well because the quality was a little bit low, so we wanted to get a new start or a fresh start. The older profile series, you can watch all of them because some of them were really good, and so that's it for the old things, and we're starting, as I said, a new sheet. But we are very happy with the results. We're very happy with all of what we have done and all the likes, the supports that you guys gave us. The last, let's say, few weeks, the channel grew like crazy, and we're very happy with that as well. So thank you all. Thanks to all of you guys, and stay tuned for more. But yeah, let's just start with this episode. And as I said, in this episode, we're going to talk about the Fighter Collection 2017. A very nice intro video right here. So yeah, I can't understand Japanese, but it's really good. So yeah, the Fighter Collection 2017, if you don't know what it contains for all the clans, GB8 cards, GGuardians, and heal triggers. For all the clans except Tokarambu, because Tokarambu is different, unique. I don't know what's the reason why they didn't include it. I do understand Bushiroad not including Tokarambu in these kind of things, but I would like if they did, because there were 3 open spaces where the Cray Elemental came, the Cray Elemental cards, and this could be definitely a GB8, a GGuardian, and the heal trigger for Tokarambu, which should be fair to the Tokarambu players. But yeah, with that being said, let's just start the episode. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about each and every cards of the set. We'll start with the GB8, and because I think that this video will take too long, we're not going to the GGuardians and the heal triggers, but I will show you the rating very fast of the total of what the clan scored. These ratings are based on our whole team, or 4 of us were in a discussion where we compared all the GB8 to each other, the GGuardians to each other, and we gave them like stars. The stars are based on the sub-clans, so does the Royal Paladin Grade 8 fit in each sub-clan, or it's just for Gurgreet? Does it fit in the mechanics of the game, of the clan? So like when they go into GB8, is this card still good, or all the resources are gone, so the card is not good anymore. Is it worthy being a GB8? The skill, the card itself, is it worthy being a GB8? The cost of the card, is the cost too heavy, or is the cost just normal, or there's no cost? And is the skill OP? Is the skill really that good? Is it unfair, or it's just okay for the GB8? So the normal clans will score like 3.5 to 4. That's the normal score. If it scored like a 3, then it is like okay being a GB8, but not really worthy. And if it scores a 5 out of 5, then the card is just too good. It's overpowered. Bushiroad made a mistake. So yeah, let's start with the first one. The first one is the one from Royal Paladin. I'm not gonna read all the skills, but I will. You can pause the video and you can read it yourself if you want to. So the one from Royal Paladin. This card has a skill. When he attacks, he can call up to 5 units and give them extra 4k and get a critical. Well, he is definitely worthy being a GB8. But the problem with this card is it's not overpowered, so it is okay being a GB8. But at the same time, there are some other cards that does the same, like on GB3. Like you have the Brave GR, which can call up to 3 units, which is also alright. I mean, he calls 5, but still, he only gives them like 4k, he gets a critical, but he doesn't get power himself. So I do understand that this card could be a finisher, because your opponent doesn't have a lot of cards in their hand to guard. But compare him to the other GB8s, he does lack in power. And so that's why he gets a 3, which is okay, but he is... Yeah, you could understand. I mean, the Royal Paladin players are okay with this card, but it's not like they're very happy having him. The second card is the one from Oracle Think Tank, so the Amaterasu. Amaterasu is a very good card, but the problem with this card is when Oracle Think Tank go into GB8, like with Susano, that would be very hard because they don't have a lot of unflippers. Unflip from the G zone, and Oracle Think Tank also doesn't like to guard too much. They have to guard very smartly with the GGuardians. So yeah, the thing is with this card, I don't think that it does fit in the mechanic of the Oracle Think Tank. I mean, if this card puts cards from the drop zone back to the deck and then draws and gives power, that would be great, but it doesn't. So I'm okay with the skill, but is it really worthy being a GB8? Well, yeah, of course, it's very worthy being a GB8 because it draws you card, it gives you power, but it doesn't really work. With Oracle Think Tank, you'll deck out by going to this card, so I'm not sure why Bushiroad doesn't give Oracle Think Tank something that puts cards from the drop zone back to the deck, like Dreaming Dragon, because they draw like crazy. The power of the clan is draw, especially in Susano, they draw a lot, so I don't understand why they didn't do that. I do understand that the game will take too long, but for Oracle Think Tank players, I think it's really good to be able to get something that puts card back to the deck. So she gets also a 3. Then we go into the one from the Angel Feathers. This card is very, very, very good, but the problem with her is the same with the Oracle Think Tank card. They will deck out when they go into her, because she like drive check 3 and she rescue 4 or 5 cards, so you will lose up to 7 till 8 cards from your deck, and that's just too much. When you go into GB8, you just want to finish your opponent off, and she does a very good job on that. But you will deck out, like on the next turn, you can't attack with your Vanguard, definitely can't attack with your Vanguard. So that's the problem with this card. It's the same with Oracle Think Tank, you will deck out. But with Oracle Think Tank, I mean, with what the clan does, like just drawing the cards, it's alright. They deserve something that puts card back to their deck. But with Angel Feathers, I don't think they deserve to, because they drive check or damage check or rescue check, whatever you want to call it. And with rescue checking is different than drawing. I mean, it has put way more pressure on your opponent. You could just get your stand triggers, critical triggers, heal triggers, anything, and that would just make a big difference in the game. Also, she gives power, like she can give 10k to the front row, which is also very good, especially for your broken heart, and like a rescue check 4 is just too good. So the reason why she get a 3.5 and not more, because Angel Feather will definitely deck out when they go into her. Maybe if you play not Gabriel but something else, then I would understand you not decking out. But in the normal Angel Feather, Gabriel, or even No Seal, I think you will still deck out. So that's why she gets a 3.5. If you don't agree on the score that we have right here, or if you didn't understand why this card got a 3 or a 3.5, you could just put a comment in the comment section below and we'll definitely talk about that. I mean, most of these scores are based on our players' team, so it's not from Bushiroad's or anything. Let's go into the Shadow Paladin one. This card gets 1.5 because he only fits in Luard, as we can see him being able to play, like when you play a lot of great ones. So in Revengers, I don't think that you could play him. Also, the only good thing about this card is that he gives like a lot of power for your Irregulars, but that's really needed because let's say you call a trigger with this guy and the trigger will be attacking for 20 or 19, which is okay. But if you was able to call a grade 1 or I mean a grade 2 or grade 3, then it would be the same if you give it 10k or 5k. So the problem with this card is like you have to have Rearguards on the field to retire them and call more. At the same time, just retiring from your opponent's field at GB8 is not something that you're very happy with because you just want to finish them off. And the power is great, but remember the power goes into grade 1s and grade 0s, so that still will not be that good. I mean, you could make a deck based on this card if you want to, but I don't think that will be happening. I mean, Shadows have a very strong stride deck as it is, but this card doesn't really help with that. I don't even see him get played in Shadows. That's why he gets 1.5. But prove me wrong. I mean, if you think that this card is very good, then just prove me wrong and play him and show me the combo. And the next card is the card from Gold Paladin. I didn't agree on this card getting a 2.5. I think that he deserves more. But the problem with this card is, I mean, with our Gold Paladin players, they don't think that this card fits into the mechanic. I mean, they want to play more stand triggers to stand the Rearguards, but this card doesn't really go well with stand triggers. So yeah, I do think that this card have a lot of potential. I mean, I do see him definitely being played, but yeah, it's not something that you really want to go into. I mean, you have other strides that could do the same by call units, and just giving them the power, I mean, the power could also be more. So I definitely see another strides being played more. The only good thing about this card is he doesn't cost you a counterblast or anything. So yeah. Next card is the one from Genesis. This is something that, in my opinion, is very, very, very good. I mean, she get a 3.5 because she Soul Blast, she get power, she get a critical, and she also gives power to the Rearguards. So it's really good. Her skill is very, very, very good. It's very effective in a lot of Genesis decks because most Genesis decks do something when they Soul Blast. So you can call more units, you can restand units, you could do a lot of stuff. So that's why this card gets a 3.5. I mean, I think Genesis players are very happy with the skill that this card does. Maybe get more power, but you can make the power very crazy if you Soul Blast a lot. I don't really see a deck based on this card. I mean, you can just put this card in your G-Zone as a Genesis player and just play it. So yeah, a very good card, and it fits like into almost every sub-clan of Genesis. The one from Kagero. This card got a 3.5 as well. The thing is, Kagero did never get something that gives power to the Rearguards, So it's very cool that this card also gives power to the Regards. It retires all of your opponent's Regards, which is also very good, because sometimes you could just destroy their field and destroy cards like Broken Heart or anything that has resist, because I think that this card could kill them off even if they have resist, because it doesn't target them. And he also gets power in a critical, so gives power to himself, to the Regards, and it's very good. This card doesn't get a 4 for the reason that it is GB8 worthy, but it comes very close to what Blade Master already does, which is get a critical and retire units. The only thing that this card does is give power to the Regards, and also to himself as well. But yeah, the thing that gives power to the Regards is why this card is so good, in my opinion, or in our opinion. The one from Nubatama, this is a very good card, but it is not unfair. I mean, being a GB8 for Nubatama, this card is just great. I think that Nubatama players are very happy with this card. They would definitely play one of him. I don't think that he will be played at 2. The thing is, with the cost, a Counter Blast or a Soul Blast is something that is very good. I mean, it could have been Soul Blast and a Counter Blast, but it's not. It's Soul Blast or a Counter Blast. So I'm not sure if this is right. I think it is. But yeah, if that's the case, then this card is very good because the cost is not heavy. And for your opponent to discard 2 cards, this is just crazy. If you play a lot of stand triggers, then I don't think that your opponent would be able to guard your attacks. Definitely they would be at 4 or 5 damage, so this guy would just kill them off, and there's just no way for your opponent to survive this. But the clan is very counterblast heavy. I'm not sure about the soul with some of the new cards, but I think that the souls are right. That you could just keep cards from your soul. You could just change your grade 1s, change your grade 2s, and leave more soul if you have to, if you want to go into this card. So yeah, he gets a 4. Then we go to the one from Tchikaze. This card got a 3, not a 3.5. For the card is very simple in what it does, but it could start a lot of combos. I do see him being played in every Tchikaze deck, but I don't think that all Tchikaze deck could get the full benefit from this card, and that's why he got a 3. But I think in Gaia himself, like the Stride version, this card will be very effective. It opens a lot of plays for you. The same with the Genesis card, but the Genesis cards is easier to play, I think. And this card could be sometimes awkward, but yeah, for Tchikaze players, which are normally very skilled players, to be able to play the clan, I think this card is very good for them. But yeah, it is definitely a GB8 worthy, but if it gave more power or it was less awkward, then I think that this card could definitely score a 4 or a 3.5. Next card is the Murakumo card. This guy got a 2.5 because we were not sure about him. I mean, the skill is confusing, but I think for Murakumo players this would also be okay. The thing is, Murakumo players, the same with Tchikaze players, have to be very skilled to be able to play the clan. And there are a lot of different strategies that you could do with this guy, but I don't know if most of them are effective. So yeah, he gets a 2.5 because we ourselves were not sure about him, so we gave him like half the score. Is this card GB8 worthy? I have questions mark about that. I think that this card could have been way better. Definitely for a clan like Murakumo, which needed something to push them. And this card doesn't do the job in my opinion. Narukami, another conquest. Yeah. This card got a 3. The reason why this card got a 3 is the same as Kagero, because it gives power to the rearguards. But binding all of the cards from your opponent's drop zone, like this would destroy a deck like Granblue. Definitely if they go into the GB8. But I'm not sure about this card. I mean, is it really GB8 worthy? I mean, he doesn't even get a crit, or he doesn't give the rear guards a crit or something. Compare him to the Dimension Police one. I think that this card will lack in a lot of things. Retiring all of the fighter rear guards, I mean, that would leave you with no rear guards yourself, which you want to fill up your field to get more power. So all of your units get 2k for each of the bind cards in every bind zone of all fighters. And that's just great, but you do need a lot of units on the field. So if you could leave a strong hand, like a lot of cards on your hand, then this card would be very effective. But if you not, then this card would definitely not be effective. Also, if you play against like Genesis or Blade Wings, then they would not have a lot of cards in the drop zone. So yeah. Nova Grapplers. This is a card that started a big discussion. The thing is, people say that the skill is not right, that the power goes to the Vanguard and not the rear guards. If that's the case, then this card is very awkward and it could get a 3. We gave it a 3.5 because if you compare him to like favorite champ, I think that this card is easier to play because you don't have to discard a lot. I mean, a Counterblast 1 is alright in Nova Grapplers, the cost is not heavy, and being able to stand your rear guards, which normally they already get power, like Sazanda and Sazanda 2.0. But yeah, I think that this card has a lot of potential in my opinion, that's why we gave it a 3.5, but our Nova Grappler player didn't agree with us on this. He would definitely give this card a 2 because he is not happy with the skill. But yeah, we will have to test him out and we will see how good this card is. We gave him for now a 3.5 because we do see a lot of potential in him. We go to the Dimension Police. This is our first top score, 5 stars. Yep. If you haven't read this card yet, I do advise you to go and read more things and more. Nah, it's alright. It's alright. But I mean, this card is very, very, very good. It's very overpowered, and we just read the skill. There is no commentary for me on this card. I will just leave it to you guys to talk about him. I mean, I've heard a lot, I've said a lot, and this card is still very, very, very strong. Being able to get those much criticals and give power to the rear guards as well. I mean, the only weakness of this card is like cards like Defeat Flare, or if they don't have enough cards in their hand to fill up their field. But in Dimension Police, that's not the case. They could just build up their field because they have cards that could do so. So I don't see how Bushido designed this card to be fair to the other clans. But yeah, it's Dimension Police. I mean, they do have a lot of cards that are very strong. So Dai King definitely is the first one who gets the 5 stars. He deserves it. He deserves to be a GB8, and his skill is very overpowered. Going to the next, which is 4.5. This card is also very overpowered, but it is situational. It's very unfair for your opponent, but your opponent could also play around him if they have to. The thing is, also the cost is very, very, very heavy. I mean, counterblasting 1 and discarding 2 cards from your hand when you want to stride into GB8. I mean, that would leave you with like no field because you don't have a lot to call. Yeah, could be in Messiah, this card could be good. In Chaos Breaker, I also see him being played, but I don't know if Chaos Breaker... if you play Chaos Breaker very smart, then you could definitely go into him and have the hand advantage. Like going twice into Universe, locking the front 2 rear guards from your opponent and just retire them at the turn that you want to go into him. That would be very smart. But yeah, the thing that is unfair about this card is that he locks from your hand. So that's just very good. But remember, it just goes into an open rear guard circle, so against clans that have a lot of rear guards on the field already, then this card is less effective. But if you have a lot of rear guards on your field, then that would normally your opponent would just lock them as well. I mean, if you play a clan like Dimension Police, which the Vanguard does a lot by himself, then it's alright. But you play something like Granblue or Royal Paladin, or Royal Paladin has some Vanguards that could do a lot by themselves. But if you play something like Granblue or Murakumo or Spikers or anything that combos with the Irregulars like Nova Grapplers, then this card could just destroy you if you leave open spaces, and if you do not, then they just go into that normal strides and destroy you as well. So yeah, this card is very good. It is a little bit unfair, but because it's situational, it doesn't get the 5 stars, and because the cost is very heavy as well. So yeah, you could put him in the same slot as the Nubatama, but he's slightly better in my opinion. Next one is Spikers. There is a lot to talk about this card. Hillheart, in my opinion, is one of the best GB8s. The reason why I say so, because I myself I'm a Spike player. If you haven't seen the videos from Living Proof yet, I do advise you to go and see them. He has a video when he talks about him. He also has another video which he shows you the combos. I will show you the combos as well, but before I do that, I would like to test him in real life, because I do like to play the cards in real life to get more feeling into my deck and to my cards. So I do think that this card is very good. It's definitely worthy being a GB8, but it is not unfair. I mean, he has the option to play around some of the cards, and if you combo him right, then this card would be very good. But the problem with him is you do have to play more draw triggers to fill up your hand with more cards, because he costs you a card for each attack, which is sometimes too much. And the thing with this card is, there is no other turn. This is your final turn. When you go into Hellheart, this is your final turn. If you don't win by that turn, then you have to you have almost no cards in your hand to guard with, and you also don't have any cards in your deck to make combos, because you call like most your cards. So yeah, that's the thing about this card. It's also very good if you attack with the Irregulars first to get all of your normal units out of your deck, and then attack with him and leave all triggers in your deck. So there are a lot of crazy things that you could do with this card. It's very, very, very combo heavy, and I would definitely give this card like a 6 stars from the 5. But he got now a 4 because he is fair, he's not unfair. But I'm very, very, very happy as a Sparkler player with a GB8 like this. That's the thing with Sparklers, when they do get like okay support. I mean, not a lot, but it's not just too little. But when they get support, the supports are usually very good. But all of these cards need a lot of skill to be played. I mean, you could just play him normally if you want to, but I would not play him normally. There are a lot of crazy skills that they go into him. And if you haven't seen the Turbo deck that they made for Hillheart, like when you can stride him at grade 2, or just at your second stride turn, it's just great when you go into him. So yeah, enough about Spikers. Let's just go to the next, which is the one from Dark Irregular. This one scored a 2. The reason why this card scored a 2 because Dark Irregulars like Charlotte will deck out when they go into GB8, so that's one big problem for them. The second thing is, if you compare this card into a Gilded Ray, I mean, some of the people would still think that Gilded Ray is better, because you could just guard him with a Perfect Guard, guard the Ray Guard, and take one, or guard the 2 Ray Guards, and that would be it. If you play him with like something like Double Vampire, or with a lot of stand triggers in your deck, like with Bladewing, when you could just put your stand triggers back to your deck, that would be great. But that would mean that you would have to make a deck just to play around this guy. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think Dark Regulars are getting a lot of pretty good support, but I'm not happy with this card as a Dark Regular player as well. I do play Bladewing, so this card would fit great into Bladewings, because you could have more soul. Also in Amon, I do like him in Amon, but he in Charlotte, I don't think that these two will get very well. Next one is the one from Pale Moon. This guy, or this girl, got a 4 as well. The same with Hellheart. This card opened a lot of options for your plays. I mean, when this unit attacks, so that means you could just fill up your field, attack with your field, and then go into her and then attack for more. She gets power, your Regulars get power, so that's just great. It's a very, very good card, and it's definitely worthy being a GB8. But it is not unfair. It's just great, but it's not unfair. So for Pale Moon, this card is great. But it's not a skill that you can't guard or that you would just lose into. Now we go into the one from Gear Chronicle. This is the second card that scored a 5, which we have only 2 on our list which scored a 5, and 1 scored a 4.5. The Nubatama card was also like 4 or 4.5, but this, and also we have the one from New Nectar, but we'll go into that later. Why did this card score a 5? Because this card is very overpowered. Being able to have a second main phase and a second battle phase is just too good. It's like having 2 turns. Drive check -1 is just too good. Like it's like a next stage, but you also have a second battle phase, a second main phase. So you could just call more units from your hand, begin your combo, start your combo, and attack with more Madams, attack with more History Makers. So I'm not sure what Bushiroad was thinking when they made this card, but yeah, I think maybe the cost is a bit heavy, like binding 8 cards, but that would be just alright, because seeing Gear Chronicle as it is, they do put a lot of cards back to their deck, so I don't see any problem with the cost. Maybe it's even a plus for some of the Gear Chronicle decks, but this card is definitely unfair for your opponent. Just by you having 2 turns, it's just crazy. And also remember, this card fits great into Gear Chronicle as the way they stand. Because you don't really need the unflip GGuardians to go into him as a 3rd stride. So that's why this card scored a solid 5. Next one is the one from Granblue. 2.5. Why? This card could also score a 1 if you ask me. The reason why this card scored a 2.5 is when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle. So it's not when this unit attacks. If this was when this unit attacks, that would open up a lot of combos for you. But when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, I mean, he's alright that he doesn't cost anything, but that doesn't do a lot on Granblue. I mean, that power plus 10k, okay, that's alright, but is this card really worthy being in GB8? I don't know. I mean, with cards like Dirty Picaro, which also call units from your deck, like with the 3rd stride, we have seen that from different clans. I don't think that this card is worthy. I mean, you have another stride that when you Soul Blast, you could just call units from the drop zone and give them power as well. So yeah, I don't think that this card is worthy being GB8. That's why she or it gets a 2.5. I would definitely could also give it a 2, but my teammates thought 2.5 would be more fair. Also, Granblue going into GB8, wouldn't they just deck out? So yeah, next one is the one from Bermuda Triangle. Are Bermuda Triangle happy with this card? I don't think they are. Just a card from your hand and discard it. I mean, why? Why would you have to discard a card? Isn't that just too much, a heavy cost? I mean, most other stride doesn't cost anything. I mean, being able to call unit, but you just call them from your hand. You return some to your hand and you call them again, but she doesn't get a critical. The Regular get only 5k, which is nothing comparing to the other strides. Are they afraid to give Bermuda Triangle a very strong GB8? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that this card is definitely not worthy being a GB8. But that's just our opinion. I think if you think that this card has a lot of potential, I mean, I do see some of the combos happening when you call the units and you can attack for more. But still, I don't think that this card is GB8 worthy. This card could be a GB4 or GB6. They'll still be alright. I mean, the Olivia turn does almost the same, but Olivia get a critical by herself as well. So yeah. The next card is the one from Aqua Force. Don't get me starting on this card. This card is very, very, very awkward. Also, that the skill, you have to call wave or cards with wave abilities. I'm not sure about that as well. Being wave 2, second or fourth, I mean, just why? Just make this card easier to play. GB8 in Aqua Force would be easy to get. That should not be a problem. But I don't know about this card. I think Lumberous is or Tavas or Wailing are way more scary than this guy. So, and this guy just being a GB8, it's the same. This card could just be a GB4. Also, you have to counterblast. The counterblast is not a problem in Aqua Force. But yeah, I don't think that this card is worthy being a GB8. Next card is the one from Megacolony. The art on this card is crazy. It's insane. Look at him. He looks really good. The only problem with this guy is he is not a finisher. So I'm not sure about him. He does give power to the Regards, but for every rested unit. But your opponent could also not leave a lot of units on the field. If they have, like if you play Granblue or Sparkers or anything else that could remove the Regards, like Pale Moon, then they would not leave a lot of units. So the power would go away. The reason why this card got a 3, because he still negates the abilities, the auto abilities from your opponent, which when you play against decks like Angel Feathers or Gold Paladins, then this card could just destroy them, because normally they have their defensive Vanguard, but they don't have it anymore, like against Blade Wings. But yeah, I still don't think that this card, in my opinion, he's not worthy me a GB8. Because Megacolony needs better to be able to make a comeback. But yeah, he got a 3 from our overall score, so yeah. Next one is the one from Great Nature, and then we have the one from Neo Nectar. So let's go to the Great Nature first. Is this card worthy being a GB8? Yes, he is. I do see a lot of potential coming from this card, and the only reason why this card got a 3.5 and not a 4 is because it's very hard for your for the Great Nature players to go into the GB8. If they want to go into the GB8, then they will have to play to go into him, because normally when you go into him, you don't have any crayon targets left. Your opponent will just destroy your combo pieces before you can go into him, so this card would be less effective. But if you do have your combo pieces, or you guard it early with the GGuardians, then this card would definitely be good. With the hand advantage that Great Nature creates, this card is definitely good. This open up a lot of crazy combos. And talking about crazy combos, then we go into one of the overpowered units. This card is not unfair. Or is it unfair? It's just between a 4.5 and a 5. The thing is, this card puts units back to your deck as a cost. I mean, that's just crazy. That's too good. Being able to call units when she attacks. So you could just call units in your main phase. You could bloom, attack your opponent, and also when she attacks, you can call more units and make them bloom and start new strategy, new formation, and you can attack for more. The cold units, for each cold unit, get power, so this unit get more power. Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, the Regards will get power from bloom, she will get power as well. That would make it very hard for your opponent to guard. They have already guarded some of your attacks, and you could, if you play stand triggers, you can stand more units. So yeah, I don't know about this card. I think that this card is very overpowered, but she is, on one side, she's very fair. I mean, we have seen these kind of crazy things from Neo Nectar before. So this card is definitely worthy being GB8, but it is not very unfair for your opponent. I mean, it's just okay for a Neo Nectar deck. It's not something that you could just restand more or call even more. She doesn't call 5 units, she calls 3 units, which is alright. But being able to put units back to your deck, so put 3 normal units, and normally those 3 will be the ones that you call from your deck. So I do see a lot of potential in this card. So yeah, those were the GB8s. We don't really have enough time to go into the GGuardians as well. We did rate them. We even rated the heal triggers and the elemental cards. But if you want us to make a video on the GGuardians as well and compare them to each other, we could also do that as well. I will also show you the overall standings, and you can see it right here. Like some clans scored way less than others. The reason for that is that the GGuardians and the GB8s were not that good. As you can see right here, let's just only take the scores and the GB8s. So we have Royal Paladin. Royal Paladin scored a 5, which is too low. As you can see, the GGuardians got like 4 stars maximum, and the heal triggers got 2 stars. So they scored a 5 from 11. Which is, in my opinion, too low. I've seen like clans which scored 11, like you can see right here. I think Chronicle, yeah, like Dimension Police got a 10.5 and Chronicle got 11. Some clans got a 9.5, which is also right. But when you get like the normal score should be definitely 7 and above. If a clan get less than 7, then they didn't get good support, in my opinion. So yeah, let's just go into the scores. Royal Paladin got a 5, which is less, but Royal Paladin did get a lot of support lately, so I do understand we should not giving them a very strong GB8. Oracle Think Tank got a 7, which is alright, but that's not good enough, because I think that Oracle Think Tank deserved better. To be able to put Oracle Think Tank at the same, let's say at the same level as other clans like Shadow Paladin or Angel Feathers or Gear Chronicle, you will have to give them a lot of good support. And with Amaterasu being great, with the GGuardian being very good, I mean the GGuardian scored 3 stars, which is perfect. The heal trigger could have been better, could have a better skill, but a 7 from 11 is alright, but it should have been 11, it should have been 10 for Orc Think Tank to be stronger. Shadow Paladin got a 7, which is okay, because they have a very strong Luard deck. They have Diablos, which are very strong by themselves. They do still get a lot of support, so I think that this 7 is alright. I mean, you have to take clans like Shadow Paladin, Granblue and Angel Feathers and give them like a 6 or a 7, and you would have to take clans like Oracle Think Tank, like Genesis. Genesis is still doing very good by themselves, but clans that doesn't do very well like Murakumo, Oracle Think Tank, we haven't seen Narukami top in a while. We have seen Spikeverse, of course, because I did it. But we haven't seen like Pale Moon top. We haven't seen Bermuda Triangle. We did see Bermuda Triangle top, but we want to see them do better. The same with Megacolony. Great Nature still could do better. I mean, even Neo Nectar deserves better. But the clans like Royal Paladin, Shadow Paladin, Orc Think Tank, Link Jokers doesn't really need the overpowered cards to be as good as they are, because they are very good by themselves. So yeah, my opinion, Royal Paladin is alright being a 5. I mean, they still deserve a 7. They deserve a better GGuardian than the one that they have, because the GGuardian from Royal Paladin is just not good. And their GB8 is alright, should have been better. But yeah, We have a 4.5 for Shadow Paladin. The reason why it's 4.5 because most of the cards, like the GGuardian, the Shadow Paladin, Stride, they work very good in the Luard deck, but they doesn't work in every other Shadow Paladin deck. So that's why this got a 4.5. I mean, if it was just for Luard, then this would be a 6, which is alright. Because as I said, clans like Shadow Paladin, the clans that like the top 4 clans doesn't really need a lot to be as good as they are. Gold Paladin got a 7.5, which is alright. I think that this should be a 9 for Gold Paladins to be better. Genesis got a 7.5, it's alright. Genesis is doing great by themselves. Got a very good GGuardian in my opinion, and the Stride was also very good, so 7.5 is a very solid score. 5 for Kagero. The GGuardian was very bad, and the heal trigger should have been better. And the GB8 is alright in my opinion, so a 5 is very low, but it's because of the GGuardian. I mean, Kagero has a lot of GGuardians that already destroy. They needed something that could get power, and this GGuardian doesn't get power. As I said, if you want to see a video on the GGuardians, put a comment in the comment section below and we will do that as well. The next one is a 9 for Nubatama. That's just great. I mean, Nubatama needed the 9, and with the new support, Nubatama will be stronger. But I do like to see Nubatama top, like the new Link Jokers. I'm very happy with that. I want to see clans that were not doing very good to do good. So I'm very happy with Nubatama. I would just love to see Nubatama win a championship. So I'm very happy with this. 8 for Tchikaze. I'm also very happy with this. This should be a 10. Again, Tchikaze got a very good heal trigger. The GGuardian was also great. The GB8 could have been better, but I do see a lot of potential in the GB8. So this score could be definitely a 9 or a 10 if you could make the GB8 works very well in your deck. Murakumo got an 8.5. I think that this should be an 11. Just an overpowered skill with their GB8, something very good. The Murakumo needed something that is very good, very effective. The GGuardian was a solid 4, which is, I'm very happy with that. The heal trigger was also very good, but the thing is, their GB8 is questionable, so that's why the score is low. But this, as I said, if you could get the GB8 working in your deck, then this score could be definitely in 10 or maybe even 11. Nova Grapplers got an 8.5, which is alright for Nova Grapplers. We have seen them top here and there, and the clan is very strong by itself. It does need a skilled player to play, but yeah, it's Nova Grapplers, and an 8.5 is very good for them. Oh no, it was Narukami, sorry. Narukami got an 8.5. I think Narukami deserves better. Nova Grapplers got a 7, which is low in my opinion. They also deserve better. Dimension Police got a 10.5. As I said, the heal trigger could have been better. The GGuardian is great in my opinion, or in our opinion, and the Die King is just too good. So yeah, I think that Dimension Police is okay having a 10.5, but I'm not okay with the skill of Die King. I think that this card should have been different. The power is too much, the criticals are too much. Link Joker got in a 9. I don't think that Link Joker needed this strong GB8 card, and their GGuardian is very good. Being questionable because he's only really good in Messiah, but I do still see him being played if you play against like because all of the Link Joker decks play Amnesty, so I don't think that there is a problem with the GGuardian on that. So a 9 for Link Joker is very good. I think they maybe deserved less, but yeah, it's a 9. It's just very nice. Spike Bros got an 8.5. I myself am very happy with the skills of the GB8. The GGuardian is also very good. The heal trigger could have been better. It should have been the one that stops, that puts card from the drop zone back to your deck. That would be great, but they gave us the one that goes into the soul, which is alright, works really good with a Miracle Ace turn. But yeah, I think that's, it could have been better. The GGuardian is also very nice, but yeah, it also could have been better. It's not a solid 4, but a 3.5, which is alright. I'm very happy with the support. I'm not going to complain about Spark Brothers. Dark Regulars got a 6, which is too low for Dark Regulars. This should be way more. The reason is their GB8 is not that good. If their GB8 scored like a 4, the same with Spark Brothers, then this would have been an 8, which would be great. But I think Dark Regulars deserve better. Pale Moon gets an 8. Which is also very good, very good. The GGuardians scored a 3 from 4, and their GB8 got a 4, so an 8 is very good. And we have the first 11 and the only besides 10.5 from Dimension Police, which is Gear Chronicle. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I think that the Gear Chronicle got a perfect score because their GB8 is perfect. I mean, this guy couldn't have been better. Maybe the cost less, but I think of what he does, the cost is alright. And also with how the clan works, like puts card back to the deck. Is he playable in each Gear Chronicle deck? Yes, he is. I think he is. I mean, we have seen Zodiac Beast and we have seen Chronojet. I think he's very good in Chronojet. Maybe less good in Zodiac Beast, but the GGuardian is perfect. I mean, she guards for a lot. So, but yeah, does Gear Chronicle have space for her? Yes, they does. They would definitely play one, especially if Raytron 1 goes into 1. Then this would be the one who replace him. The heal triggers puts unit back to your deck. Well, perfect. That's just too good. So yeah, that's why the Gear Chronicle got 11 from 11. Granblue got an 8. Granblue is already a clan which tops a lot and does really good, so an 8 is alright for them. Bermuda Triangle got a 5.5. This is just crazy. This clan deserves way better. This should be a 10 or a 9 to push Bermuda Triangle to go more into the tops and to top tournaments, to win tournaments. Aqua Force got a 7 because their GB8 is really bad. If their GB8 was a bit better, then I think that this would be definitely a 10 or a 9. The thing is, their GGuardian is very, very good, and their heal trigger is also the perfect for the clan. So I don't see any problem with these two, GGuardians and the heal trigger. The only problem is with their GB8. Next one is Megacolony got a 7 as well. I think that Megacolony deserves more, deserves better cards. Great Nature got a 9, is perfect for Great Nature, very good support, the same with Spark Brothers. Neo Nectar got a 9.5, also very good support. I do hope to see Neo Nectar top tournaments, win tournaments, because the deck is really, really good, so I don't see why the deck didn't top or don't top. So yeah, as I said, if you want us to go into the heal triggers and the GGuardians, we will do a video about that, and we will also show you the Cray Elementals, because this video is taking too long, so I can't go into them as well. So yeah, that was the video. I'm very happy with all the likes, the support that you guys gave us. Stay tuned for the characters intros. We will do that next week. So that would be a very, very good series of us, because we have a lot of nice ideas to show you, because we're just gonna go and make like a deck profile, and somebody will talk about their deck, talk about themselves, what they think of the game, of their clan, what's their favorite clan, and also show you their favorite deck. And after that, we'll do matches between us, playing battles against each other with our favorite decks to see the decks and how they work. I have got a lot of questions with the Rising Nova, like people want to see me play the deck, to see how I play it. Yeah, I'm very happy to make those videos. So yeah, so stay tuned for that, and don't forget to check our channel, our profile, our YouTube channel, our Facebook profile, crushing the meta. So nice. Thank you for watching, guys, and till next time.